আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night.
Welcome back. Okay, I'm going to go straight over to Nanu, who we had given some nice analysis of the season. So, Nanu, as you were saying.
Sure. I mean, just to wrap up the Premier Division, I mean, Tigers, congratulations again, Ms. Bawai, for
Thank you, Nanu. I know you've been always supporting us, but I'm very upset that you didn't actually, put us up for winning the title this year. You know that. This is not on.
Belief
it's
is
typical statistics, isn't it? It's typical statistics. They go with the stats, and it's not the real game that we're after. But I'm going to let him have his piece.
Anyway, just to wrap up the team summary for the whole season, and we know it's pretty much over anyway. For Abahani, one day they might win the title, but it looks like it's not going to come anytime soon. So maybe 2 or 3 seasons when they replenish their teams, then they might do well. Beaumont, there was a belief that you could win the title only for about 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm going to mention 3 weeks, I know you were complaining. With Bromley, people actually thought they had it in the bag for about 4 weeks, and they did ever so well. I think they were, one time, they were about 4 or 5 points clear from the next team. So I don't know what happened, what went wrong. Maybe there's some lessons
2 losses at the trot, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah. London Tigers, it took you 4 seasons. What took you so long? Maybe you can answer that later. St. Catherine's, they have earned a lot of respect. A lot of people are talking about them, but that's just not good enough. They need to improve. With Sire, well done for capitalising on Beaumont and Bromley's failure, and Tower Hamlets as well. Tower Hamlets, no comments whatsoever. It's absolutely worst case scenario for them is to be almost right at the bottom.
So defending champions, a downfall, and looking at relegation battles now, unfortunately.
Yes, and I don't want to speculate on anything at this very moment. Anyway, moving on to the first division. Now, it's not done and dusted.
Do you want me to quickly show up the results on the screen for you then? Yep, so there you go. Coming up on the screens now, the results from the first division, and it looks like this. FC Bondu, they beat Stepney Legends 2-0. We'll come on to that. Mostyn doing as well as they do, 3-0 against Riverside Vets. And Weavers, a bit of a whipping there again from FC Redbridge, beating them 6-0. And the table looks like this. FC Bondu are on top of the table for the first time, knocking off Stepney. In third place, we've got Weavers with 20 points, 6 points behind the top 2. Then we have Mostyn, very good debut season, on 4th with 15 points. Then we have Tower Hamlets Vets on 10. And then we have the bottom 2, Riverside Vets with 6 points. And FC Redbridge looks like they're down and buried there with 1 point. Nanu, just give us a sum up of the first division there.
Sure. I mean, Stepney thought they had it in the bag. But, they're in serious problems now because FC Bondu are right at the top now. Believe it or not, Stepney were about 6 points clear of Stepney, of Bondu at 1 point, and Bondu have shown courage, and this is what we like to see in teams. So both of these teams are going to battle for the title this week, so it's going to draw a lot of crowd. We'll be there. I'm sure Ms. Bawai is going to be there as well, so there's something to look forward to. Anyway, just to summarise all of the teams for the season, it's pretty much over. Bondu, as I mentioned earlier on, I admire the courage and belief. Not for a second did they give up, and look where they are now, in prime position. FC Redbridge, what can I say, right at the bottom, but I have to say there are lots of admirers, lots of support from the crowd, but lots of work to do. With Mostyn, I have to say, everybody thought that this team was going to come, a brand new team from a different location with different crowd, and they're going to get battered silly. But they surprised everybody, and they've done ever so well, so congratulations to them. Riverside, again, lots of work to do, but you guys should improve a lot. I have to say that because I've seen you play and you've done so well. Stepney Legends, too much confidence and underestimated the league by far, so I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, too much confidence can get you into this position, so look what's happened now. With Tower Hamlets FC, that's the B team we're talking about here, I have to say, some of the players from the B team should be able to play for the A team. I don't know why they've done that. Some of them are really, really good. Weavers, I'm a personal admirer of Weavers, just like Tigers. They're clean, simple, very attractive style of football, and I like the way they play. They don't complain. They go about with their business, and they have the potential to win trophies. But anyway, just to summarise both of the divisions, on the Premier, well done to Edson for scoring 8 goals and Rarif on 7 goals, and they're both from Tigers, surprise, surprise. And on the First Division, well done to Abul from Tower Hamlets for scoring 9 goals throughout the season. And congratulations to Faisal for scoring around about 11 goals. That's 1 goal per game, and he, at the moment, is currently the top scorer from both divisions. And I just wanted to personally congratulate him because he has done ever so well.
Well done.
No, thank you very much for those stats. Rash, I mean, I can't think of a week that you weren't there. Yeah. Tell us, what's been the difference in the last few seasons that we've had the Vets to this season?
First of all, I must say the Premier Division, I think this year has been the most competitive in terms of standard-wise. Previous seasons, we had only all teams played each other once, and there was a limited number of games. This year, with 2 divisions split up, we had obviously home and away games, and the standard of every single team could actually beat another. As a result, we see Saya beat Tigers, St. Catherine's really close with top games. Every team on the day can beat. So I think the competitiveness has been immense, and I think everyone's raised the bar. I think that's the lesson Stepney needs to learn, because they thought, as Nano said, they had in the bag. Bondu were desperate. I saw the game, and I was actually cheering with them because they live in the local area. They're all 35, 36. They gave their heart out, and they wanted to win and show that they can compete. None of them play in the leagues, whereas Stepney, they play in the Sunday leagues, or used to play in the Sunday leagues, all experienced players. They were playing for a draw, but Bondu wanted to. He showed desire and won. So that's what we want to see on a Thursday, that people showing the passion and desire. So even Division 1 is being so competitive. So both divisions, I must say, this year has been very, very competitive.
If anything, based on what you're saying, that's sort of a compliment to London Tigers then, because the last few seasons, Tigers have been struggling to win the league. And the season it's the toughest, they've actually come out on top. And
definitely.
I mean, you guys were away for a long period, but...
That's right. I think the first, when we started, there was about 3 weeks I was away with FC London on a tour, and that really, that really actually put a hinder on us. Plus, this year we didn't have Sufyan Hamid at that beginning. Tariq's been injured. He's just come back over the last, and even then we're playing him right back because he's not fully fit to come back. So the key players that were around, this is another thing I was going to say, that, you know, us winning it without our key main players that made the big difference in the past, it just shows that, you know, we've been a good team all the way along with, you know, Bromley's, Tower Hamlets, but it's just that because it's a long season, sometimes you don't have your key players coming, and those are the games that hindered us. The 2 games that we lost away was while I was away, and again we did struggle with the players because Sufyan, Hamid, Tariq weren't around, and we had issues.
That's the same problem with a lot of teams, but
yeah,
I think because it's so competitive, everyone, if you look at the results, everyone on the day can actually beat everyone. I think that's what was interesting about the Premiership specifically. It was so tough and competitive. It was no easy games, so to speak, and I think that's why I think to win this league is the toughest league. That's a credit.
We were looking at the first few weeks and thinking, well, the Premier Division looks a lot tighter than the First Division, yet we've come to a position now where we've actually wrapped up the Premier Division, and the First Division has become a tight affair, if anything. I mean, if I just quickly bring up on the screen and we'll sum up the Vets. The fixtures that we've got for this Thursday for the Premier Division is as follows. So we've got Bromley Legends. They'll be desperate to get some points out from London Tigers. London Tigers are going to be playing for fun. That's their final game. We've got Saya up against Beaumont Masters. Now that's going to be a big mid-table battle. If anything, this could really sink Beaumont. And then we've got Tower Hamlets Vets. They'll be up against Abahani. Abahani just need to push that bit further and get up the table. And if we look at the First Division there, so we've got a very good game there. FC Bondu against Mostyn, 2 very recent promising teams. Then we've got Stepney Legends and Weavers. These 2 will be desperate to get themselves back onto winning ways. And then sort of 5th place and 6th place battle there. Tower Hamlets Vets play Riverside Vets. So, I mean, those are the fixtures. Just a quick few words on the Vets. I mean, we're looking at wrapping up the season, but and any sort of compliments out there you want to send out?
Well, for me, I think Bondu surprised everyone, and also Mostyn. Mostyn, I think the average age is 55 plus. So for them to be in mid-table, I think is a very shocking for me. But I think, as Nano said, they thought they'll come out in the league, but they surprised with their age. They can still play and compete with the younger lot.
A younger lot, you said, very well cued. Young man, give me one team that you've been most impressed with, because I know you've been to a few of them. Out of the 12 teams, 14 teams that we had, which one has been most impressive for you?
Mostyn's been good for me.
Mostyn?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's been Mostyn all the way around. Okay, well, that's the Vets, but we're not going to go off the Vets topic, because yesterday, very important tournament out in West London for the veterans. It was the London Tigers Veterans Tournament. I believe it's a debut tournament. I'm just going to quickly show you on the screen. We had the winners' photos taken there, and surprise, surprise, London Tigers Veterans Tournament was won by ILFL Select Legends 11. So there's a team there, a few photos there. It was a nice day out, but the man that worked really hard to get yesterday up and running, and I think it's a unanimous, it was truly a success yesterday. My man here on the right. I mean, Elizabeth, tell us what you went through and give us the biggest picture, because we've been actually quite close. We consider London Tigers as an East London team because we've got so used to you, but you guys are way out there. Tell us what's going on.
I'm just trying to educate East London footballers. It's only 45 minutes drive across London to go to London Tigers Sports Complex. You've got to start getting used to it. We've got a 25-year lease there. We're going to be doing so many of these tournaments. So I want to say, what is ILFL doing winning competitions when ILFL is supposed to be looking after clubs like us and organising competitions? This is totally not fair. I mean, you know, you need to be thinking about clubs like us, you know. And look at Rashid, he played for 2 teams, he had 2 jerseys on, you know. Well, at the end, I'm just saying, swapping jerseys just because ILFL won.
I can provide an explanation to one of them. You know, seeing London Tigers win the ILFL, which is based in East London, Veterans League, we thought we'd go to West London and we'd come at top, and that's exactly what we did.
I think the tournament idea was fantastic. It was going back a bit of my memory lane, because I used to organise loads of these adult tournaments, you know, many years ago, and it always used to be lastminute.com. And just on Tuesday night, when we were together with the UK-Bangladesh Football Championship, I just thought, all right, that's a good idea. Let me speak to a few people. And suddenly 1 or 2 said, yes, okay, we'll put it in. And everybody says, can you do it? Well, even on the night, we had 3 teams. By Wednesday, midday, I had more or less 8 confirmed. We'll let you know. And I'm thinking, okay, well, even if I get 6, I'll do it. You know, alhamdulillah, in some ways, everybody's effort, you know, coming down. The guys from MK Galacticos, you know, coming down. There's a few players who joined with Select from Coventry. I think, you know, I always say, you know, it's like the UK-Bangladesh Championship. You know, I've done a similar one for 2 years. And what happened is that if the teams don't come, there is no tournament. Organising-wise, you know, it's not much of an effort. You guys can put the effort in for fun in some ways. But if the teams don't come, then you realise that, oh, you know, all that effort and no team. And I think that 8 teams, you know, coming down, and it was all friends, really, apart from Hayes United, which is a local guy, one of the guys who works with us. He's brought the Somali brothers down. It was their first time experience seeing everyone. Yeah. They were overwhelmed with it. Now they want to get fitter now, realising that, you know, if they're fit, then we can be the same. So it's motivating.
Yeah, I think also a lot of teams, especially the vets, because back in the days, in the 80s and 90s, there was no leagues. They prefer the one-day tournaments. Yes. It's on the day, let's give everything. Yeah. And I think with tournaments like what you did yesterday, it's a get-together. You see your old friends, people you know, played against back in the 90s or 80s from different areas, get together. I think it's more of a social, and everybody enjoyed it.
People enjoyed that. And that's something that I was going to say linked up with, I know there's a lot of new 35-year-olds coming in now, and they're all thinking we're 35, we should be better than the older as well. You know, a typical example is I had 4 Sunday teams ongoingly for years and years, you know, playing 11-a-side football. And even if they were to come, they would not get into our first 7-a-side team, because the standard is still the same. Wherever you are, the standard is still the same. So you've got to match that kind of thing. And I think that's the effort, that the standard was that kind of level, really. Even the refs had a tough time. One of the refs had a bit of a tough time in the tournament because of the competition.
I mean, with London Tigers hosting this tournament, this really opened it up for ILFL as well, because obviously ILFL put in a select 11. But I mean, London Tigers now, as an organisation, it's huge. I mean, if I just quickly show on your screen, this is just a quick snapshot of their homepage, but you can see they've got so much going on there. And I mean, we're guilty of our own success, where we've stayed close to it, and we keep talking about Stepney being one of our most colourful tournaments, but well, colourful teams, shall I say. But I mean, for you guys, London Tigers, I mean, you have spread your net out there. I mean, could you just share some of that with us, Mesbah? I mean, London Tigers.
I think, alhamdulillah, we started the journey, everybody knows us from Westminster. So if you go back to 1986, we started as Marylebone Football Club. So a lot of the older people like PYOs and, oh my God, Eagles, I can't remember all the names, Osmanis, everybody will know us. We used to take part, and I always said that, you know, Tower Hamlets footballing community has kept Marylebone FC and London Tigers alive, because that connection of getting together with people, they're the ones who throw the tournament. I go back to our area, we grab the kids, any age group, and we're coming down to take part. So I think in some ways, I've always said that Tower Hamlets footballing community have been very, very active. And for us, it's only a 20-minute drive. Honestly speaking, I think everybody thinks it's really far away. For us, it's a 20-minute drive. And the journey started as a football club. I've been playing up and down the country myself with Indian Gymkhana, playing in the Khalsa Federation tournaments, many, many tournaments across the country. There's been a lot of big who are about five-a-side Asian championships in the past. And, you know, in that kind of way, we realize that, you know, people are just doing close-knit, localized programs on football, and hence the reason why around 2000 we decided to formalize it as an organization to make it London-wide. The idea was to go London-wide in different boroughs, and alhamdulillah now we're working across 7 boroughs across London. We've got our head office in Westminster, we've got an office in Tower Hamlets, we've got now 25-year lease. It's a vision, dream come true for us. 25-year lease, sports complex, 19 acres park in Southall, in London Borough of Ealing, which was where the tournament happened. And then national program-wise, people are following our model, where we've got Birmingham Tigers started about 7 years ago. He's got about 9 football teams running leagues over there, based in the Birmingham Futsal Centre. We've got Oldham Tigers, who've got about 3 football teams. Luton Tigers just started the under-7s last year. So in that kind of national angle, that people, again, we're not going there doing it. It's local people have approached us and said, can we follow your model? And we're doing that. Plus, on top of that, you know, we've got cricket clubs, the county, we've got a wide range of community programs.
I'm going to come on to that, Mesbah. I've just been it up. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to hear a bit more from Mesbah and influential skills to the rest of us. So don't go away. We'll see you in a few moments.
আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL সকার নাইট।